Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to work with the Two-Tone Floral Suite. We're also going to add in the Something Fancy stamp and a couple of the dies. So what we've got is this beautiful, beautiful fancy Flora paper. I'm just going to breeze through it so you can see it. How gorgeous are these pieces of designer series paper? This is the one we're using on tonight's card. So let's just flip through. Look at those gorgeous vibrant colors. Look at that. Definitely a lot of fun in this package of paper. This is what's on the outside when you're looking at it, and I can't wait to play with that. What I've done tonight is I have combined the Something Fancy stamp and dies, and I've realized that I put one of the dies back in the fancy floral two-tone dies. So we'll go through a little bit. I'll keep you in suspense while I sort this out. There we go. So you've got all kinds of tag and label dies in here in these Something Fancy dies, and lots of really great greetings. You matter to so many, with deepest sympathy. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. Love that one. May the good you do come back to you. Nothing fancy, just love. Here's to beautiful beginnings and happy ever afters. Thank you. Happy birthday. Congratulations. Grateful for the everyday magic of you. How nice is that one? And then we've got the Two-Tone Flora stamp set. So each background stamp has a corresponding second value or second step stamp. So this one is just stamps. There's no greetings. But in here is this gorgeous, gorgeous die. It's almost like a background stamp kind of die, and it creates a beautiful floral background. I haven't used that one yet. I'll do another video using that one, but all of the flowers and leaves you can actually cut out with dies in this set. So I've used the designer series paper, I've used the stamps and the dies. So what I've got is a soft succulent card base, which I am going to flat mount onto the with the mat here, and even that is just gorgeous. You could do this card with this as the background as well. I really quite like this one. It looks like a nice oil painting. Just going to pop that down like that, and then we need to build up the card. So what I've got is I've got 4 fronds of leaves cut out after I stamped them in soft succulent. I've got 2 small flowers in Orchid Oasis. I stamped away to do second value for the background, and I did first value for the detail. And these ones and the larger ones, which are fresh freesia in the background. So this is the background stamp, and then this is the detail stamp. And I did the Orchid Oasis in the detail. I find it really so much easier to stamp the darker value first. So in these cases, I stamped the inside, kind of the detail first, because it's the darker one, and it made it lining up the lighter value over top really that much easier. And I used one of the label dies with the little opening die. It's a 2-piece thing, so you can do it with or without the little opening from the Something Fancy set. And the greeting and the die are from the Something Fancy set as well. So why don't we get started loading this up? I took some fresh freesia ribbon and I colored it with the light Orchid Oasis blend so that I had a color matched ribbon. I could have left it as fresh freesia. I could have made it soft succulent. So there's so many color combinations that you can use with this paper. You just go ahead, and I just tied a half knot in the top like that, and then you just trim it off. I tend to leave my ends just a little bit longer so that it's easier to tie them, and then I just trim them later. Now when I built this one, everything kind of ended up a little bit down here. This I placed at an angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dimensionals on like that. And I'm going to place it just a little bit further up on the card because everything, as I say, ended up being quite far down into the bottom right corner. So I'm just going to pop this just a little bit higher on this one, just over here like this. And I'm going to swap places with these so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I did is I took the larger flowers, I put a little bit of adhesive at the bottom of the flower, and then put a dimensional at the top of the flower because I want to overlap this and the edge is going to come off of the paper. So I'm going to do the same thing again. With this one, it's going to overlap over here, so I'm going to put the dimensional there so that when I put it down, it's held up on that one side. A little bit of adhesive, peel that backing right off, and put this down like that. Then I put the greenery in, and I flat mounted the greenery and just tucked it in underneath the flowers like that. Actually, this one overlaps, so it goes like that. There we go. And then let's just turn all of these over at once, and then I'll make it easier. So then this one came in underneath like that. This one over to the side like this. And then the fourth one kind of just at the bottom like that. And then I took dimensionals again and popped them onto the larger flowers, or sorry, the smaller flowers, and then just popped them down onto the card as well. And every time you do this, it turns out just a little bit differently. So put that like that. And then I put this down so that it is dimensionalized, but over the edge of the card are the leaves. So I'm just going to trim some of these small edges off so I can use them. On the other card, the first card that I made, there was enough room to use larger dimensionals. But the way I've done the leaves on this one, I need to use just smaller pieces of dimensionals and pop that down like that so it's straight. And there we go. So it takes some time to do the stamping and the die cutting, but it does create just a beautiful, beautiful card using the Fancy Floral Designer Series paper. Comes in 6x6, the Two-Tone Flora stamps and dies, and the Something Fancy stamps and dies. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos about the new products in the mini catalog. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll create together again soon.